don't remember that.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean,
We knew that.
I'll stop by anyway. But I mean, I did everything that you.
Well, that's what I thought. You did.
You're at the admin thing. I'll stop by tomorrow. I'll probably just stop by. There we go.
Yeah. They come on.
Okay.
Yeah, well, but they're-
What you got?
Oh,
Y'all make me work on it. Every step.
Okay.
When you come, I know.
Turn the water.
That was
But yes, yeah.
No, about 8:30. Depends on executive session too, you know that, right? So technically, we can be done by 7:30. For real. Why?
Advice for the money. I don't need you to start. Like she needed to, so I know what I'm doing tomorrow.
She said you disturbed me too much.
Oh, CB maybe you will counsel it.
Roddy, don't even, don't.
Oh, I know. You got to think it out loud.
It be on us. It be on us.
Randy,
Yeah, ma'am.
focus.
I'm here. Ma'am.
And take notes.
Yes, ma'am. I see Miss Pauline here, Miss Dorothy Roper Jackson. Do I have her name on here? I sure don't. I need to add her. I don't have her name on here. See the- Mhm.
Oh, I
That's why I never see.
match recording. So I went to the office to grab it and I
They
forgot.
didn't even talk about executive office budget. So we was there the whole day. I mean, I had to be there because I had to take like minutes and stuff.
Yeah, get it.
Shit. You see Tariq? I saw him earlier.
Yeah, I'll definitely bring it back. I want to make sure that this, I spelled it right.
They don't even talk about
They wanted it
weekends.
with no,
My weekend, past 2 weekends, past 2 weeks.
It's okay, 'cause what we'll do, we'll send it over to Gardner, over at the county.
yeah,
With
Like,
him.
really.
Blue Star.
okay. Cause like I can,
And then Major Jones.
just change it.
You wanna just change
Yeah.
that one sheet, but if you go ahead and sign it, just that one sheet, not bugging you
I
about
don't
it.
know.
Okay, great. Just send that one little sheet. How well?
Saw the mayor.
Yeah. We want just.
Yeah.
He's here. Of course. Kwame not here. Oh. Probably so ain't no telling.
Yeah.
Peter is not here. Clemens is not here. Chief Chris is not here. Who's that?
What's up, T? How you doing? Okay.
Like a safety phone, come on, man. Good.
Is what going down? Oh, no, it's not going down. Mm-mm.
I believe so. Good evening, everyone. It is 6 o'clock, so the work session for mayor and council for May 6th is called to order. Ms. Rainey, roll call, please.
Yes, good evening, Mayor, Council, and Mr. Clark. This is the roll call for May 6th work session. Mayor Butler,
Present.
Councilmember James. Let the record reflect Councilmember James is not in attendance. Councilmember Anton,
Good evening, everybody. How's everybody doing?
Councilmember Gutierrez, Councilmember Akins Wells,
Here.
Councilmember Mears.
Here.
Mayor Butler, you have a quorum.
All right, thank you. So tonight's agenda, and it has been brought to my attention that item 8 will be removed and added back on at a later date. So is there a motion to accept tonight's agenda with a deletion of item 8?
So move, Mayor.
That was Councilman Antoine. Is there a second?
Second.
That was Councilman Mears. All in favor?
Aye.
All right, thank you. New business. Council discussion and approval of 6 new recruits to the fire department. And we're going to have Division Chief Keith King to do tonight's introductions.
Mayor Butler,
Yes, sir.
just for record purposes, this is not approval.
I didn't
This
think
is
so.
just an official introduction of the recruits to the council members.
All right, thank you.
Good evening, Mayor and Council,
Good evening.
Mr. Clark. Tonight, I would like to introduce 4 we have in attendance. Joey, come on up. This is 4 of the 6 new recruits or candidates that we have that are started with the fire department. These 4 that are standing in front of you have been with us for about 3 weeks now. Been going through some rigorous training, physical fitness, and they just begun their fire training, beginning with chapter 1 last week. To my left, we have Mr. Jerome Wood, Rashad Lawson, Zachary Kemp, and Shanita Smith. Not in attendance tonight is Ms. Regina Williams, fire recruit. She had a trip planned prior to employment with the city out of the country. Hopefully she'll be back, safe travels, and be back in class tomorrow. Also, we have Mr. Mason Riccardi, who is actually, he came with us with certifications as firefighter 2 and some EMT certifications. He spent 2 weeks with us in training, learning the way that we require things at Forest Park. And he is now actually on shift, and he's more than likely out on a call because he is assigned to the rescue truck. So these are 4 of the 6 new employees. And in tradition, like I normally do when I bring them before city council, what's my mission statement?
Team will provide the highest quality of service through preparedness, education, and action.
Core values.
Core values, professionalism, cooperation, dedication, loyalty.
Mayor and council, this is 4 of the 6 new employees of Forest Park Fire Department.
All right, well, welcome you all. Item 2, council discussion and approval to purchase additional fire suppression gear. Background and history. The Forest Park Fire Department desires to purchase additional fire suppression gear, including 5 fire instructor sets, jackets, trousers with suspenders, hoods, gloves, boots, helmets, and jacket patches. This is extended from the original request of January 2024 for 12 sets of trouser and jackets. This purchase will enable our firefighters to have 2 complete sets of suppression gear. The Forest Park Fire Department will purchase from Bennett Fire Products because they are local and carry the global brand of gear, which is already in stock and has short delivery wait times. The other vendor in the region specializes in customized gear, and the wait time could be up to 10 months. Suppression gear was approved in our 5-year capital plan. The fund to be used is capital line item number 300-61-3510-52-3718. The total cost is $86,327.75. However, we are already approved for $35,844 in January. The difference will be $50,483.75. Yes, ma'am, you have the floor.
Yes, good evening, Mayor Butler and council members, as well as City Manager Clark.
Good
This
evening.
is Talisa from purchasing. Just wanted to let you know that this did go through the procurement process. We were able to piggyback off a cooperative agreement with Lake City, Florida, who has a contract with the vendor Bennett Fire products, and they provide these products for different states and municipalities for fire and rescue.
All right, good evening, Mayor and Council.
Good evening.
Again, this is just a continuation of our bunker gear. This will be provided to our training staff so that they can have their second sets as well.
All right, thank you. Any questions or comments? Councilwoman James? Councilman Antoine?
No.
Councilman Gutierrez?
Thank you.
Councilwoman Wells?
No.
And Councilman Mears?
Thank you.
All right, thank you. Item 3. Council discussion and approval of Stryker annual service agreement, a 2-year renewal in the amount of $23,580.58. Background and history. Renewal of Stryker annual service agreement for Life Packs and Lucas. Services include parts and labor, annual inspection, battery replacement, product equipment, and replacement parts. The second year renewal cost is $23,580.58. Hello again.
Yes, good evening. So this is a procurement to proactively renew the second renewal for the service contract with Stryker Medical. And they provide parts and labor, replacement, annual inspections, and things of that nature for the Life Packs defibrillators for fire and rescue.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. So the company Strikers who provides our stretcher services as well as our automatic load systems. And this contract was drawn so that they can continue to keep the parts and maintenance as well as replace our batteries. And it significantly cuts the cost if we do have something along those lines that breaks, and it keeps all parts standardized under manufacturer's recommendations and wants.
Thank you. Any questions or comments, Councilwoman James? Councilman Antoine?
Good.
Councilman Gutierrez? Councilwoman Wells? And Councilman Mears?
Ma'am.
Item 4, council discussion and approval for an ignitable liquid detection canine. Background and history. A presentation delivered by Ioana Armstrong outlining a proposal for the implementation of the fire department's first ever ignitable liquid detection canine. Startup cost is $10,000. Annual upkeep and preventative costs are estimated to be $4,000. The fire department is seeking council approval. The fund will be fire prevention line item 100-61-3510-52-2210. Good evening.
Good evening. Good evening, Mayor and Council. I am Ioana Armstrong, your city's EMA coordinator, and I work in our emergency management agency. And I wanted to thank you for granting us a moment of your time tonight so that we can discuss what is a very exciting program for me and for the department. This is just a quick overview of how it will flow. So this has been something very near and dear to my heart for at least the last couple of years, pretty much since the day I became a state certified arson investigator. And I'm really, really overly enthused to bring this project proposal before you tonight. As you may or may not be able to tell from the slide, the project proposal is to establish and implement the first ever ignitable liquid detection canine, otherwise known as an arson dog, here in the city of Forest Park. And I saw these dogs in action the first day of class, and it's really remarkable to see how they can quickly pinpoint the exact location of any kind of ignitable liquid, and just to see them work and how methodically they work a room. And then when they're not working, how just wonderful they are to be around. I fell in love immediately. You can ask Chief Halcom. I was already texting him that day, and then I came back to the department and was in Chief's ear about it for a very long time. So it's really exciting. But I believe the addition of this type of canine in our community, it's going to send a message to those that we serve that we're really serious about fire education, fire prevention, and fire investigation. And, you know, canines are effective in promoting interaction, positive interaction with the public at any kind of events or schools and things of that nature. But additionally, dogs are therapeutic in nature. We see this a lot with dogs in children's hospitals, you know, how they come around, or the ones that are assigned to them or to individuals that have any kind of disability. They are effective in decreasing a hormone called cortisol, which is known as a stress hormone. And at the same time, they increase the oxytocin hormone in our bodies. And that prevents the feeling of just calm and love. It's associated with bonding, and it helps reduce anxiety, which is a really keen thing when we're talking about the nature of the business that we're in. And if this proposal is granted, I intend to take the responsibility of caring for the arson canine as its handler. So the following slides are just a quick overview of how it will be implemented. Quick history of the canine use. These have been around since the early 1980s, and they help investigators identify ignitable liquid sampling areas. So they go to the location, and that's where the handler will know where to take a sample so that that can then get sent to a lab for confirmation. And you might ask yourself, or you might not, but why are dogs used instead of something like, or, you know, why are bears not used? Which is, there's a long story. Bears are the only animals that can have a better sense of smell than a dog, but I don't think I could propose a bear as, yeah. So this is why we're going with the dogs, but it's true. They have 300 million olfactory, which are your smell receptors in your nose, and humans have about 6 million. The part of a dog's brain devoted to analyzing the smells is 40 times greater than that of a human. So, for example, you might notice if a teaspoon of sugar gets added to your coffee, whereas a canine can notice if a teaspoon of sugar has been added in a million gallons of water, which is essentially 2 Olympic-sized swimming pools. So in terms of liquid accelerants, just how small of a volume can a dog detect of gasoline? And the most recent study in 2020 showed that they were able to detect down to 1/billionth of a teaspoon of gasoline. So that's pretty significant. Oh, and before I go on, this is Drago. He's doing a demonstration with a daisy wheel, and that's a good boy. Did it die? No. So goals and objectives. Obviously, we're on step 1 tonight, which is presenting it before you all. And then the second step would be to work with Hurricane Creek Canine Kennel to obtain 1 fully trained ignitable liquid detection canine, and then to obtain training and certification for the handler. And then once that's done, we would utilize the canine to enhance arson awareness and public education. And we'd also use it as a resource for mutual aid partners if they needed help. You know, we'd be more than willing to go help them with that, with anything that they needed. So, and then something near and dear again to my heart is to utilize this canine as our first in-house service canine. I mean, it's well known that first responders are susceptible to developing a lot of things from PTSD to stress to depression and things of that nature. So I think having one can really assist our department's personnel and just be there in times for them during high anxiety and stress, and just provide that emotional support that we sometimes really need. Benefits again. They're specially trained to detect accelerants, and the advantage of using a canine is their ability to pinpoint as quickly as they can, so it saves the investigator time on scene. They don't have to be in that environment very long. And then as a public service, we would have it participate in educational programs and training sessions, so covering topics like fire prevention and life safety. And then through these events, the canine will help promote community safety. And then the third benefit, like I just described, the emotional support aspect of it, because the canine can go wherever the handler can go. So if there's a bad call, or if there's something that's just going on, or sometimes you just need to pet a dog for 10 minutes and it just helps. I can't describe it. If you know, you know. So that would be, this is the main one, I guess we could say. The budget. So the big one-time budget would be $10,000. As you can see here on the right, this is significantly less than the first time because, again, I've been looking at this for over 2 years. And with the partnership and being able to work with our partners at PD, the canine itself would be donated from the kennel. So that'd be $0. And then outfitting the vehicle for the handler is also going to be donated by the Georgia Police Canine Foundation. So really, we are paying for the training and the certification of the dog and the handler, which is $10,000. And then yearly budget is just the estimated what it would cost to keep it going on, which is food, vet, and things of that nature. Quick timeline. Again, we're on number 1, which I missed a typo, but approval, or hopefully approval tonight. And then the only unknown here is the the dog being ready itself. So it really depends if they have any currently at the kennel. And then they need to work with them a little bit to see if they pick up on that training. So it can be anywhere from immediate to, 6 to 9 months. But after the canine has been picked, then the training itself is 12 weeks. And that is all I have. That got cut off, but that's a potential recruit. Her name is Allie. She's 1 year old. They're seeing if she's picking up, the imprint is what they call it when they're doing the smells. But hopefully, I'm not saying that would be the one, but that's a good prospect. Therefore, she's a recruit potentially. So
Beautiful.
any questions?
Oh, wait, I think Halcom has something to add.
I'm gonna Halcom to provide Mayor Butler some statistics for you all about our arson cases.
Yes, good evening, Mayor, Council.
Good evening.
I said I could really tell you offhand as far as how many arsons we've had. I can have how many we've proven, but by law, we have to investigate every single fire that we have, regardless of how big or small it is. It has to have come down to a point of origin. But the question is, I would figure to ask is, how many arsons do we have? Is this really warranted? Right now, that the question is, how many have we missed? Every time we have a fire, we have destruction, then it runs up our insurance premiums. So this would just be another tool in our toolbox to go over to make us that much more proficient and actually proving if it is a accidental fire or if it is a intentional fire.
Thank you very much. Councilwoman James? Councilman Antoine?
No, you answered the unknown question for me.
Councilman Gutierrez?
Hey, y'all, thank you so much for the presentation. I guess arson is when somebody starts a fire on purpose?
Correct.
Okay. So I guess talk me through what would the situation, so if there's a fire on site, would the dog arrive when the fire's there or after it's put out and then he would do the investigation?
After it's put out typically, they can actually work a scene anywhere between 1 to 3 days because that's how strong their sense. And you don't want them there immediately anyway, because we can still as humans put on all of our gear and be okay. But with all the toxic stuff there, you don't want them in there right away. It can sit a couple hours to clear out as much as it can because you want the dog to be as healthy as can be too. So, but anywhere between 1 to 3 days, you just basically get the call and we'll know that that's one of your scenes that you need to go investigate or help.
Perfect. Yeah, that was my question. I guess I just didn't imagine how he was pulling up, what year or whatever. Okay, that makes sense. And then does the court, with this, with the dog, I guess, how does that happen? If this is for insurance purposes, I'm guessing, or to, find out what was the cause of the fire?
Like Chief Halcom said, it's one tool for the toolbox. So if we work a scene and the canine alerts or it hits on something and we take a sample, I wouldn't just use that and put it in my report of the dog alerted, therefore must be arson. No, you got the alert, you take them the sample, then you send it to the lab and the lab confirms, yes, this was actually a fact. So it's just, with any case, you need to have as many things in there ready to go to help prove what you're trying to explain. So that would just be another thing. And it's really hard to deny. Not only did they detect something that we would never know, but the lab confirmed it as well.
Okay, thank you. Thank you for answering.
Councilwoman Wells?
Thank you. I am definitely in support of anything that's gonna help you all get your job done in a timely manner. So yes, I definitely agree. Thank you for the visit.
Thank you.
Councilman Mears?
I also agree. I'm a strong advocate of the fire and police both. This city owes them anything and everything they can use in their power to protect them, protect us, and whatever they ask for. I feel like that we should bend over backwards to try to accommodate them with whatever they need to make their job safe.
Thanks.
Appreciate it.
Thank you. And the only thing that I ask
Yes, ma'am.
is that you bring him or her in once you get him or her.
I'm going to do a whole demonstration.
Okay,
Yes,
perfect.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Item number 5, council discussion and approval of the purchase of a LifePak 15 V4 monitor defibrillator for a rescue truck. Background and history. The Forest Park Fire Department needs to purchase a LifePak 15 V4 monitor and defibrillator for our rescue truck. This will include battery chargers, hoses, amps, a case, ProCare, and a Wi-Fi gateway. The vendor who supplies this product is Stryker Medical. A service contract is currently in place with Stryker. Due to the cost of this purchase, we are seeking approval from the council to make said purchase. Hi.
Good evening again.
Good evening.
This is in conjunction with the previous item that, you all just, read, with Stryker Medical. So this is a replacement, life pack for the rescue truck, to be purchased through them so that it can stay, in conjunction with the service renewal contract that we have with Stryker Medical.
All right, thank you. Is there anything you'd like to add, sir?
Yes, ma'am. So the LifePak 15 is a cardiac monitoring device that allows our paramedics to provide advanced life support services as far as patient assessment goes, allows us to see heart rate rhythm, and allows us as paramedics to judge what kind of medications would be best. We've always been with the Physio Control LifePak system, which is provided by Stryker now. In 2011, when I started here, we had 6 of the V1s and we've continued up through the progression of the V series as they've gone up. So we're asking for this one due to our call volume increase, at looking at the possibility of putting up a 4th rescue that would allow that rescue truck to be able to be run without removing any equipment that would hinder another apparatus from providing care to citizens.
Thank you. Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. Mayor and Council, some of the ways that we're trying to transcend is to equip all of our vehicles to prevent us from having to go to another rescue, take stuff off, go to another fire truck, take stuff off. We're just ready to roll, serve this community.
Perfect. Makes sense. Councilwoman James. Councilman Antoine.
Right.
Councilman Gutierrez.
Nice seeing that mustache back, Mr. Gomini. Looking good.
Thank you.
Councilwoman Wells.
Thank you.
Councilman Mears.
Thank you. I reiterate, anything that we can help y'all with, we need to know, and we will be glad to work with you.
All right, thank you all so much. Item 6, council discussion and approval of a line item transfer request in the amount of $10,500. Background and history. The Human Resources Department has identified a need to adjust our budget allocation for the current fiscal year. Specifically, we are seeking approval to transfer funds for $10,500 from line item number 100-25-1540-52-3701, which is training and conference, to line item number 100-25-1540-53-1105, general department expenses. This proposed transfer is crucial for our department to effectively manage our expenses until the new fiscal year begins. By reallocating these funds, we will ensure the continuity of essential operations and uphold our commitment to efficient resource utilization. Good evening.
Good afternoon. As stated in the background and history, the Human Resources Department is seeking for transfer of funds from our training budget to our general department budget. The funds that are in our training budget are unused and will be better utilized for our general department expenses because of incurred costs and POs that we have outstanding that we want to pay in a timely manner.
Thank you, Councilwoman James. Councilman Antoine.
Well said.
Councilman Gutierrez. Councilwoman Wells.
No.
And Councilman Mears.
Thank you.
Mayor Butler.
Yes, sir.
Just for clarity purposes, I was under the impression that this was a departmental transfer to account for the expenditures, not a line item. So just for transparency, the governing body doesn't have to approve this request because line item transfers on the departmental level are allowed. So Director Brown, I'll get with finance after. I thought they were transferring money from increase of revenues to potentially your department. That's the only reason it would have to come before council, just so that we're consistent with all of our practices.
Thank you.
Item 10 on the work session. Are we going to delete it from item 10?
After the work session, I'll get with finance to see if something changed.
Okay.
Point of order, Madam Mayor.
Yes, ma'am. State your point.
So just want to be clear, are you saying that when we approve a specific amount to a line item, it does not have to come before council to be realigned?
No, ma'am, not if it's not an increase in their actual budget of the department. They can do general line item transfers. Budget amendments come before the governing body. Now, if they were going cross-departmental budgets, it would have to come before the governing body, which is what I thought we had spoken about before. But if Director Brown has the money within the departmental budget and it's not increasing the bottom line, we do those almost every day, especially towards the end of the budget.
Yes, sir.
And that's correct. Good evening, Mayor and Council, and I'm just up here to concur with City Manager. He's correct. The difference between a budget transfer and a budget amendment, this is a budget transfer. This does not have to come before council, but a budget amendment does, which when you increase the bottom line of the department or at the end, or even the total of the fund in revenue, as well as expenses, that's when you have to do this budget amendment because you're moving. And also when you're moving funds, if you need to, from another division or department to another one, that will have to come before council. But a budget transfer within the budget, within the particular division or department does not need to come before council.
Okay, thank you so much. Let's see, item 7. Council discussion and approval to enter into a contract with Nova for building inspection services. Background and history. Nova was selected by a competitive RFP process from qualified firms to provide building inspection and plan review services throughout the city that include inspecting residential and commercial buildings and other structures or sites in the process of construction, altercation or repair to ensure compliance with applicable codes, review building plans and conduct residential and commercial inspections of detailed drawings, design specifications, and construction plans. Good evening, sir.
Good evening, Mayor and City Council. This was an RFP process, and the planning division needed to get a building inspection company to do this. All 3 firms, Abbott, Safe Built, and Nova, were all qualified, highly qualified firms. So it came down to the fees. With that in mind, I'm going to let Mr. Shelby speak about the purpose of this. But again, it came down to the fees.
Yes, sir.
Good evening, Madam Mayor and City Council.
Hello, sir.
Good evening, sir. And City Manager Clark. This is a contract that is replacing one that we've had since 2014, a contract that was never renewed. And so we did a RFP to search out for new vendors to assist the city in doing building inspections and plan review. And it all came down to the percentage of the amount of money that the consultant will take of the city's funds. For example, with this bidder, it's 58% of whatever we collect in building fees. The one that we've been using for over 10 years, the fee was 65% of what we get. So this is a very, very good change for the city, reducing our expenditure with that other bidder, which we've had for over 10 years. So it's a change.
Thank you.
Mayor Butler?
Yes, sir.
Governing body, just to drive this home.
Yes, sir.
You'll recall that this is the 4th RFP I think we've released for general services. And as you can see, for every RFP we release, the contract that we're going with is drastically cheaper than what the city was paying. But a lot of it has been that a lot of the services that the city has used, the services have never been bid out. Nova is a reputable company. They currently service other municipalities around Clayton. They service Clayton County as well as Fulton County. But I just wanted to really, really highlight for you that all of these RFPs that have come before you for approval have been long-time contracts that just simply by us putting them out to bid, we're getting a much better cost. The last one that you'll see next will be pest control services. And we're really happy about the savings that we're seeing with that one. But I just wanted you guys to know this is a part of that effort just to look at all of our city services.
Thank you. Councilwoman James? Councilman Antoine?
Would you equate that to good leadership?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Councilman Gutierrez?
No question. Thank you.
Councilwoman Wells?
No.
Councilman Mears?
No, ma'am, no question.
Okay, the only question, wait, I have one. So the feedback that I have received from the other company that was in place was about availability. And it seemed as if the contractor, if you will, would have to work around said company's availability versus said company working around said contractor's availability, if that makes sense. So with this new company, is there a schedule in place? Are they going to, if a contractor has to come out after 5 p.m. or on the weekend, are they going to make themselves available for such, even if there is an after-hours fee?
Once we get their contract, that's a conversation we can have with them. I didn't know that was a requirement, but I certainly can have that conversation with the contractor once
Well,
we.
It's not a requirement.
No, it's not a requirement that we have a building inspector to come out on the weekend. Now, you maybe talking about code enforcement.
No, I'm talking about if a building needs inspection, but the contractor or whomever is not available until a Saturday, would that inspector make themselves available to fit the contractor's schedule versus the contractor having to make themselves available for the inspector's schedule? Does that, am I?
Yeah,
making
it
sense?
makes sense. And I can just say that usually consultants work from Monday to Friday, from 8:30 to 5 o'clock, the same schedule that we have. But I can talk to them about that, but it's not a normal thing that happens.
Even if there is some sort of an after-hours convenience fee, if we can explore that as well, just so we can make sure that's an option.
I think that's a great idea. I will explore that for you.
Thank you.
Mayor Butler, the other thing that I'll add, you're spot on. Now, they do not come out on the weekend. I've never seen that. However, one of the missing elements to it was with the former contractor that we had, what we still have in place, was it didn't really embody the concierge model that we're looking for. And so we're going to be instituting technology so that when the individual comes in for the trades, permits, whatever the inspection is, they're able to schedule it electronically or digitally so that everyone knows. And Mayor Butler, you are right. I received that same complaint for another business. I think it was relative to a sign that was being erected. But we will make certain that Nova pushes forward this concierge model of service that we're looking to deploy within the Planning and Community Development Department.
And as a matter of fact, we're having training this week, starting tomorrow on Tyler, which is our new permitting system. It would be in concert with Finance Department as well. And so Nova will be invited to be at that meeting as well.
Okay.
But I think your idea about convenience fee for Saturday is a great idea. I would approach Nova about that.
All right, thank you. Item 8 was deleted. Item 9, council discussion and approval on an agreement, between the City of Forest Park and Clayton County Public Schools for a summer food service program. Background history. The Clayton County Public Schools has provided free breakfast and lunch meals from June through July to children 18 years of age and under at the Forest Park Community Recreation Center since 2021. The renewal of this agreement will allow children in the community that heavily depend on school breakfast and lunch to eat during the school year the opportunity to receive said meals throughout the summer break months. Good evening.
Good evening, Mayor and Council, City Manager. Stated in the background and summary, we partner with Clayton County Public Schools to offer kids in the community free breakfast and lunch. The school system start to notice that kids throughout the community are really relying on the breakfast and lunch that they get from the school system. So we decided to partner with them because it's an actual free program.
Oh, okay, thank you.
Any questions?
Councilwoman James? Councilman Antoine?
Can we come?
No.
Councilman Gutierrez?
Oh, thank you, sir. Thank you for lighting up the room with that nice bright shirt.
Oh, thank you, sir.
Councilwoman Wells?
No, thank you.
Councilman Mears?
All right, thank you.
Mayor Butler?
Yes, sir.
Just one quick aside relative to the free lunch and breakfast. We are going to be trying this year to ensure that our seniors as well take part in the free lunch offering for this community. I believe Forest Park is one of the only ones that the seniors are not getting it, but it is a free service, and we'll make certain that not only are we servicing the kids during the summer months, but we're also servicing those legacy residents year round.
That's excellent. Thank you so much. And so we do have an executive session item, and so I believe we have enough time to at least get started. So I want to ask for a motion to recess to enter into executive session for personnel, litigation, real estate, or legal matters. Now it's Councilman Mears, a second by Councilman Antoine. All in favor? All right, thank you, and we shall return. All right, good evening, everyone. Is there a motion to to adjourn the executive session and reconvene into our work session?
So moved.
That was Councilwoman James. Is there a second? That was Councilman Mears. All in favor?
Aye.
All right, thank you. Now, is there a motion to adjourn the executive session? I'm sorry, the regular session.
So moved.
That was Councilwoman James. Is there a second?
I second that.
That was Councilman Antoine. All in favor?
Aye.
All right, thank you. So it is 7:03, and the regular session for mayor and council for May 6th is called to order. Elder Miller, great to see you. She's going to do tonight's invocation. So all those who are able to stand, please do so, and then remain standing for the Pledge of Allegiance, please.
Let us pray. Father, we come before you tonight just to say thank you, Lord God, for this time. We want to say thank you, Lord God, for our mayor, for our city council, for our city manager, and all of those, Lord God, who are here to further the work that you want done in this county, in this city, Father God. Lord, we ask that you would bless each and every person that is here tonight. Lord, we ask that you have your way and your will, and we ask that you continue to help us to do those things that would bless the people that they are trying to govern. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Ms. Rainey, before you do the roll call, I wrote down Councilwoman James arrived at 6:03. So just for the record, I don't know if you got that. All right, roll call, please.
Yes, good evening. This is the roll call for the regular session of May 6, 2024. Mayor Butler,
Present.
Councilmember James,
Present.
Councilmember Anton,
Good evening, everybody. Hope everybody's doing good.
Councilmember Gutierrez, Councilmember Akins Wells,
Here.
Councilmember Mears.
Here.
Mayor Butler, you have a quorum.
Thank you so much. And so the first item is a proclamation in recognition of the 55th Annual Professional Municipal Clerks. Is that, am I- hold on 1 second, please. Okay, let's retract here. The approval of tonight's agenda, and we are going to omit item 10. Is that still correct, Mr. Clark?
Item 10 and item 12.
Okay, item 10 and item 12. So is there a motion to accept tonight's agenda with the deletion of items 10 and 12?
So moved.
That was Councilwoman James. Is there a second? That was Councilman Gutierrez. All in favor? All right, thank you. So the approval of the minutes. Has everyone had the opportunity to review the minutes from April 15th, our work and regular session meetings? And if so, are there any changes to be recommended? Okay, if not hearing any, is there a motion to group said minutes together and approve as is?
So move.
That was Councilman Mears. Is there a second?
I second that.
That was Councilman Antoine. All in favor?
Aye.
All right, thank you so much. So we have up next is the public comments. Ms. Rainey, can you read the
Yes.
disclaimer, please?
Section 2-1-7 Rules of Procedure and Decorum. Comments will be limited to a total of 3 minutes per speaker. 21 minutes are allotted in total. Members of the public are not allowed to participate in any debate or discussion conducted by the governing body members. All public comments must be limited to matters on the agenda or over which the governing body has jurisdiction. Each speaker must maintain a decorous demeanor and refrain from personal attacks upon members of the governing body or employees, shouting and using obscene language. All questions and comments shall be directed to the presiding officer. Members of the governing body may respond to comments during their closing comments if they desire.
Thank you so much. And we have 2, and we'll begin with Ms. White.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
My name is Rosemary White, and my complaint today is them removing the porta pots. I live on Second Street next door to one, and it's not a pleasant smell. So that's what I came up to speak on. I don't think it's fair that I can't move because I own my home, so I'm not gonna move. So I don't understand why they removed the porta pots all over the neighborhood. So I would like for someone to please explain it to me.
Okay, well, Ms. White, so during the public comment, this is the opportunity for the public to voice their concerns. So if members of the governing body wish to address your comments, they can do so during their closing comments and/or someone can call you afterwards. Yes, ma'am.
I would like, he may not be here when we get done.
Are you guys okay with that? Having Councilwoman Wells respond now? Right.
So-
I'm sorry, Councilman Antoine, Councilman Gutierrez, and Councilman Mears? All right.
How you doing, Ms. White?
I'm fine, and you?
I'm good. So I didn't know that they were gonna remove the porta potties, but I wasn't against it because what we're in the process of doing is renovating Second Street Park as well as Perkins Park. So the parks will be closed. So there will be nobody in them utilizing them. So we removed the porta potty because they were unsanitary. No other park in the city of Forest Park has porta potties. And so once we get done renovating the park, then we'll look into bringing the porta potties back. But the parks are actually gonna be closed. So they're not out there for everyone to use, or because your friend is at your house, they go use the porta potty. They're out there for the people utilizing the park. And so since we're getting ready to renovate the park, then I was okay with them removing them because they weren't getting clean like they were supposed to. And to me, it's more unsanitary to have them there than to not have them there. So, while the parks are closed, we won't have them out there. They just removed them a little early due to them not being clean like they should.
Okay, can I make a statement on that?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, they may have removed the porta pot, but they have not removed the public from out there. They still have events out there. If they're gonna close it down, chain it around, close it down. Put signs up, close down.
We will.
'Cause that's only fair.
Begin, we will. But thank you so much for your comment.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Ms. Mitchell?
Evening. Good evening, Mayor and Council. I'm here to talk about the 25-mile-per-hour speed limit on Yancey Drive. It's being ignored. They fly back and forth on that street. I have asked about speed bumps. That hasn't happened. I guess because I didn't keep pushing, but it's starting to be a problem. My next concern is when you phone Waste Management, it takes a long time to get a person for trash or the yard pickup. So it's just time consuming, and it was more effective before it was contracted out to this new service. It can really be bothersome. Now, I don't know where you all live, but we have some problems out here, serious problems. Yeah, and we don't want to create wildlife, rats and stuff, because the trash and stuff is not being picked up. I ride by, I see people's trash, tops won't even close and stuff just running over. So that's gonna create a problem sooner or later. And that's about all I have to say. And as far as our newcomers to Forest Park, I just hope that they are respectful residences, because I have run across a lot of rudeness from people that are newcomers. I just would appreciate if they would extend cordiality, and you don't have to be my best friend, but you don't have to blatantly be disrespectful. And that's all I have to say. Thank you. Have a good evening.
Thank you.
Well noted.
You'll follow up with her. Okay. Oh, city manager's report.
Thank you, Mayor and Council. We have a short report
Thank you,
tonight.
Chief.
So first, I would like to give all of you an update on where we are with the home program. As of May 6, 2024, we have 55 applicants that have actually been approved. For Ward 1, that's 7 individuals. For Ward 2, there are 10. For Ward 3, there are 12. For Ward 4, there are 17. And for Ward 5, they are 9. In addition to that, we still have about 60 electronic notices that have been sent to the pre-qualified candidates with second request for eligibility documentation. So that means we still have 60 notices out there where some of our legacy residents could qualify. They just haven't responded as of yet. Our next steps will be to choose from the list of contractors that we have. We are anticipating that we will be able to give you some updated numbers closer to summertime, just to see if we have the opportunity to open it back up again once we get through all the applications in the portal. The other thing I wanted to highlight for you tonight is some work done by our code enforcement. So as we talk about just rehabbing our community and the adaptive reuses of property. This is thanks to the efforts of code enforcement. I believe I saw Director Walker. If you would please stand. Mayor and Council, this is the third demolition of a dilapidated, blighted structure that our code enforcement has done over the course of the time that he's been here with us.
What
This
leaders
deserves a
do.
huge congratulations to him and his team. And this is in Ward 4. So you can see it's been dilapidated for quite some time. And this will just show you it is completely gone. So if you know where we are, we're right in front of Perkins Park, and this is West Street and Springdale. Thank you.
Thank you, Director Walker.
And so what happens when the church is not demolished. What happens when we do these, we actually put a mechanics lien on their property to get everything back that we paid for the demolition of that property. So if anybody tries to go acquire the property, the first thing they'll have to do is pay back that mechanics lien. So we are really excited about this type of work as we continue to work throughout all of the wards. So if you have properties that you know have been sitting like this for a nuisance for a long period of time, if you'll let me know and we can pass it on to code enforcement so they can work those as well. The other thing that we're happy about is we launched our first weekend work for code enforcement this weekend. Because as all of you know, on the weekend when our staff is gone, especially code enforcement staff, people are setting up at the gas stations, et cetera. So now our code enforcement officers will be working, I believe it's 2 weekends out of the month. Is it 2 weekends, Director Walker?
2 weekends.
They'll be working 2 weekends out of the month. So if you see them around, community, if you see them around, if you please could say hello to them and just thank them for the work in which they're doing. That concludes the city manager's report for tonight.
That was great. Thank you so much. Ceremonial. We have a proclamation in recognition of the 55th Annual Professional Municipal Clerks Week, which is May 5th through May 11th. We have the proclamation. Background and instead of doing the background and history, we'll just read the proclamation. So will the governing body please come to the forefront with me, and then we'll have our very own clerk and deputy clerk to receive the proclamation. So the proclamation is as follows. Whereas the office of the professional municipal clerk, a time-honored and vital part of local government, exists throughout the world and is the oldest among public servants. And whereas the office of the professional municipal clerk provides a professional link between the citizens, the local governing bodies and agencies of government at other levels, and whereas professional municipal clerks have pledged to be ever mindful of their neutrality and impartiality, rendering equal service to all. And whereas the professional municipal clerk serves as the information center and functions of local government and community. And whereas professional municipal clerks continually strive to improve the administration of the affairs of the office of the professional municipal clerk through participation in education programs, seminars, workshops, and the annual meetings of their state, provincial, county, and international professional organizations. And whereas it is most appropriate that we recognize the accomplishments of the office of the professional municipal clerk. Now therefore it be resolved that the City of Forest Park's governing body do hereby recognize the week of May 5th through May 11th, 2024 as Professional Municipal Clerks Week, and further extend appreciation to our professional municipal clerks, Randy Rainey and Michelle Tidd, and to all professional municipal clerks for the vital services they perform and their exemplary dedication to the communities they represent.
Come in just a little bit. Ready on three, 1, 2.
Okay. Oh, and the next presentation is recognition award for Yard of the Quarter. Councilman Wells, you want to do the honors?
Yes. So do we have both families here, the last recipients and the new recipients? Yes. Okay.
Oh my God. Mm.
Daniel, I was like, what?
So, I can't remember the year, but I think for about 6 years now, I have been doing the Keep That World Beautiful program, and I thought about it because I wanted to get my community cleaned up. And so I wanted to recognize the homeowners that kept their yards clean and hope that it would, push their neighbors to do the same thing. So it means so much to me that you all do a great job in helping to beautify Ward 4. And I just want to say thank you so much for your effort. And so with that, we are going to have our own recipient of last quarter to represent the Yard of the Quarter sign to you. And you'll also get your home. This is their home. If you haven't seen it, it's on Edge Street, in Ward 4. Beautiful, absolutely. And so this is a gift card from Home Depot to help you to get more items to beautify your yard and keep those from you. So thank you so much for all that you do to contribute to our community.
One, two.
I'm sorry.
Goodness. Item 3, presentation on water safety. Background and history. Water safety encompasses a broad spectrum of practices and guidelines aimed at preventing accidents and injuries in and around bodies of water. Whether it's swimming in a pool, enjoying a day at the beach, or participating in water sports, understanding and implementing water safety measures is crucial for individuals of all ages. Hello.
Good evening, Mayor and Council.
Yes, sir.
As stated in the background and summary, May is Water Safety Awareness Month. And this time I want to bring up my aquatic coordinator and she'll pretty much give all your details about Water Safety Month. Right?
To do that, they didn't mean to do that. They played.
Right.
At the right time.
Okay, pardon my nerves, okay?
Nah, you
You're
good.
fine.
You came at the
I
right
am
time.
just a little nervous about public speaking, but good evening, council, mayor, city manager, and the City of Forest Park constituents. My name is Marquisa Moore, and I am the aquatics coordinator for the City of Forest Park. Today, I am presenting to you a water safety awareness presentation in honor of National Water Safety Month. Okay, so I just want to start with this is like my life's purpose, truly, to decrease the drowning rate amongst minority children and just children, period. It only takes a moment for someone to drown in the water. In fact, almost 800 children drown every year between the months of May and August. As you can see, the numbers are staggering. So I would like to list a few common causes that can attribute to drowning or water injuries. Lack of swimming being number one, and lack of close supervision being like my number two. And also failure to wear like proper life jackets and use of alcohol too around water. So I want to give you guys a few tips on how to stay safe around the water. Okay, and we'll start with learning how to swim first. Always swim with a buddy. Okay, and parents remembering to supervise your kids. And I know that we sometimes patronize establishments that have lifeguards or water watchers, but we need parents to help us monitor, you know, your babies around the water. Every year, the pool is like overwhelmingly packed because we are the only outdoor pool within like a 25-mile radius. So sometimes the line is around the corner, but we are over capacity almost all the time. So we hire, you know, teenagers and adults to help us with the supervision of those kids and their families and making sure that everybody leaves how they came, alive. Also, it is very important to know the ABCs of water safety, and that's adult supervision, barriers around bodies of water, and starting a class, either CPR class or swim lesson class, which we offer here at the City of Forest Park. So, what everybody has been waiting for, opening day for the pool this season will be May 24th. We will be having a grand opening Saturday, May 25th, where we'll have a DJ, we'll have ices for the kids, and we'll just be having a whole lot of fun. It's my most favorite time of the year. I've also posted the pool hours and operations, and we will be operating on the weekend, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
Swim lessons will take place Monday through Thursday. And Monday through Thursday, and we will offer swim lessons for all age groups. One of my most popular classes is my aquatot class that I do with the babies out there. And also swim lesson registration will open up on May 20th at 8 a.m. Okay, so I will leave some pamphlets for everyone. If you would like more information, I will leave it out front and you guys can grab and see our schedules and just everything that you need to know about signing up for swim lessons. Okay. And that pretty much concludes my presentation. Thank you for listening. Uh-oh, what did I do? I'm sorry. Thank you for listening to me. I'm still trying to get rid of my nerves, but thank you. So that's pretty much it. Do you guys have any questions for me?
Councilwoman Jane.
I don't have any questions, but I do have a comment. Thank you so much, Ms. Moore, for this. My 4 adult kids learned how to swim at Forest Park. So I'm excited about that. I have a 2-week-old grandbaby. So I see you have a 6-month class. So I'm looking forward to getting her in the class.
Oh, yes.
But thank you so much for what you do.
Absolutely.
Councilman Antoine.
Ms. Moore, thank you for coming. Thank you and great job. Also, so movie in the park, what's going on with that?
So we will be doing
Putting that on.
we will be doing movie in the park. We actually won a award the first year I was here with GRPA for our movie in the park night. We do that once a month, usually the second Saturday of the month, where we just bring out the big screen. I have floats and we just, relax, chill. The kids have a
How did
good
it vibe?
time. They love it.
All right.
Councilman Gutierrez.
Good. Great job, Ms. Marquisa. I had the pleasure of meeting you the other day at the park, and I love your energy. So just keep it up. And you did really good presenting. I don't know why you were nervous. You knocked that out.
Come on.
I mean, I know the information. I just have just nerves just speaking in front of people. That's all. I'm a little shy when in front of a microphone.
Councilwoman Wells.
Yes, I agree. You did absolutely amazing. And thank you so much for all that you do. And I just like to say her energy is always the same. Like, you're an amazing person. This is the type of energy we need at Parks and Rec because people come there to enjoy themselves, have a great time. So thank you so much.
It is my pleasure.
I think the first person, if we can sign him up tonight, we want to make sure Mr. Clark gets signed up because he doesn't know how to swim.
Mr. Clark, I have a spot designated just for you, okay? Just for you.
Thank you. so
And we
much.
will get you taught this year.
Can we get him some Forest Park
promise you.
floaties? Some Forest Park logo floaties?
He won't need any floaties with me. I promise you. He's in good hands.
I'm more afraid of people taking pictures of me without a shirt on. okay?
Well, I have a rash guard for you as well.
But to that point, one of the things we do want to announce, we are for the first time ever having an opening that will be for employees and our governing body members, just so that all of you, once the pool is completely cleaned out, you can go out and try out the swimming pool. Mr. Maxwell, do you remember what that date is?
It was May 18th.
It was originally May 18th, but we got 2 city events already on that day, so we're looking at trying to do it that Sunday as a splashdown, May the 19th.
Yeah, so again, it'll be a fun opportunity for our employees and the governing body to come check out the pool once it opens.
All right, thank you. Councilman Mears.
Thank you for that presentation. Can you swim?
Absolutely. I was a competitive swimmer.
Excellent.
Yeah, I used to be a competitive swimmer. I've been teaching and instructing and coaching because I'm a USA Coach certified for over 20 years.
Really? That's excellent.
Thank you.
Mears is a 1965 Cannonball champ.
Thank you so much. You are amazing.
Thank you.
Just to piggyback off that, the movie in the park is actually the dive-in. It's actually at the pool. So we shut the pool down and the kids get to sit around the pool or on floats and watch a movie while actually at the pool.
Thank you, Mr.
Wait, you have one more item. Don't go nowhere.
Okay.
Item
that
4,
flag.
presentation on Older American Month, background and history. Designated by President John F. Kennedy. I am so sorry. In 1963, Older American Month has made way for federal initiatives providing comprehensive services for older adults like the Older Americans Act of 1965. Celebrated every May and led by the Administration for Community Living, Older American Month promotes powerful themes to help celebrate the impact of older Americans. The 2024 theme is Powered by Connection, which recognizes the profound impact and meaningful relationships and social connections have on the health and well-being of older adults. In accordance with this year's theme, we recognize one of our legacy members of the Forest Park Senior Community, Miss Virginia Wise, who is receiving President Biden's 2024 Lifetime Achievement Award for volunteer service.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We got you. We're gonna do you. Good evening, Mayor and Council. Thank you again for coming up. I would like to say I have a great leadership team, and from what Mr. Clark taught us is to put our team out there to expand on what they do. So I've tasked my team to come before you guys. Some of them don't like speaking, but as I encourage them to step out of their box and speak. And at this time, I want to bring up Miss Ann Foster, our new senior coordinator. She's been here less than 3 months, not even that long, less than that. And she has been doing an amazing job networking and getting our legacy seniors more involved in things.
Good evening, Mayor,
Yes, ma'am.
City Manager, City Council, and City of Forest Park. I'm a little nervous too, but I'm very happy to be here, happy to be a part of the team. So as you heard in the background, Older Americans Month was started by President John F. Kennedy. Originally, it was called Senior Citizens Month and then changed to Older Americans Month. It led to the founding of the Older Americans Act, which was a federal initiative to provide comprehensive services for older adults. And we know that one of the biggest connections, Powered by Connections for our seniors, is through senior centers. And for us here in Georgia, our initiative comes to us through the Atlanta Regional Commission, which is our area agency on aging that provides health and wellness and a plethora of other services for our seniors. During Older Americans Month, the City of Forest Park Recreation Leisure Services recognizes and honors all of our legacy members because we have many members that have been coming for so many years to the center and are engaged in various activities there. The biggest thing that they like to do is socialize, and they love to eat. But we also like to expose them to other different events. As a matter of fact, this past weekend, we attended Clayton County's oldest Older Americans Month activity, which was called Mayfest. We had some of our seniors participate in the 2.5-mile walk, and one of them is here. She's hiding, and we all finished. We didn't place, but we all finished. And then on Saturday, we took them for the first time to the Mayfest for dancing, entertainment. And I'll just have to say too, they're not here tonight, but I think our Sassy seniors were the best performing line dance group at the event on Saturday. Okay, we want to recognize one of our legacy members who is with us here tonight, Bishop Julia Virginia Wise. She is this year's recipient of President Joseph Biden's Presidential Lifetime Achievement Award. A little bit about this award. This award is given to outstanding men and women who give their time to humanitarianism, volunteering, and helping their communities. So I'll just tell you a little bit about Ms. Wise. First of all, she's 91 years young. She just recently celebrated a birthday. She, in her hometown of Baltimore, Maryland, started a housing unit for homeless women and their children. She has mentored young people to become ministers and pastors over the years. I think when we had the celebration, one of the young men is a Grammy-nominated entertainer now. She also has encouraged and put together an organization that help people, seamstress, make dresses for children in Haiti. She was very instrumental in supporting and getting cursive writing back as part of the curriculum for our school system. She's still an active pastor. She is also affectionately known as Virginia V, the rapping grandmother. She is the author of 3 books.
Wow.
And she still leads a sing-along group at the Senior Center every Thursday at 1:30. You're all welcome to come and join us, and she leads the choir there.
Wow.
Okay, we also would like to invite all of you to come to the Senior Center on Friday, May the 17th at 11 a.m. as we celebrate all of our legacy members at the Forest Park Senior Center. And before I have her come up, do you have any questions for me?
Councilwoman James.
Thank you.
Councilman Antoine.
This is special. Thank you.
Councilman Gutierrez.
No, just thank you so much. You came in and you really got the ball rolling. I love the just the presentation and celebration of our seniors and our legacy members. I'm sorry. So just thank you for that, ma'am.
It's my pleasure.
Councilwoman Wells.
Yes, I would like to piggyback. Thank you so much. I was just telling the city manager, like, do you see how she's not reading off a piece of paper? She know these things about her. So that says a lot about you as well as Mrs. Wise. And I would just say, like, if you haven't heard her play the piano, if you haven't visited the senior center, I went down there and I grew up in a small little Baptist church. So I walk in there and the seniors having their little moment and they're singing gospel song, and she plays the mess out of a piano. And I just joined right in singing gospel song with them. Like, she is absolutely amazing. So it's a pleasure to know you. And thank you so much for everything that you have done throughout your life and for the city of Forest Park. Thank you.
Councilman Mears.
Thank you. Thank you.
Absolutely. Let's
Thank
bring her up, please.
We would
without
like to
further
bring
ado.
her up and for a photo op if possible, and her family is here with her tonight.
Well, and I would also, if there's anything she would like to say, I would
Oh.
love to hear from her.
Sure. Come on up.
We give honor to the mayor and all of the folk on the podium and to Forest Park and to all of our friends that we've met since we've been here. And I tell you, it sounds like a lot of stuff that I am doing. But I got to tell you this, I moved here from Baltimore, going on 9 years now. And I said, what am I going to do in Georgia? Because in Baltimore, I was very active and doing a lot of things. And when I got here, I said, oh, Lord, please help me. And the first thing the Lord did was let me go to First Baptist right over across the street there. And I began to play with 2 guitars and a drummer. And we had a gig there on Wednesdays. And then the next thing I went to the center and I began to play there. But look, I got to tell you this, if it had not been for the Lord who's on my side,
Amen.
I couldn't have made it, y'all. I couldn't have made it. God bless me. I have 6 children and I have 15 grands and 19 great grands. And God has just been good. And the Lord began to speak to me at nights and I began to write poetry. And I wrote a book called Without a Song. And as I wrote that book, and after I've read it myself, I realized that a song is like therapy. And if you can keep a song in your heart, even when things are not going right, it will help you to make it through many a day.
Yes,
And also, I don't know, can I read a poem to you?
absolutely.
Okay. Since this is the senior citizens, I'm gonna read a poem I wrote called They Call Us Old Folks. Okay. They call us old folks. When we get over 70 and on in years, we're often looked upon as finished and told it's time to hang up our shingle and retire, for we have diminished. Isn't it funny? When we were younger, we thought the same thing about older people. But now that we're at this stage, we realize there's still life and hope for us on God's page. Age is not a deterrent to God at all. He's looking for a willing heart that is obedient. Moses was 80, Abraham was 75, Noah was 500, Joshua was 80 when God called them. Even though people see us as unproductive, God sees us as a mature, experienced children who still have much more to give and much more life to live. So don't hang up your gifts and talents and abilities and shut the cupboard door, because God has new horizons for you to discover and explore. Oh yeah, they say we over the hill, but age is just a number. God's looking for those who are not afraid to do his will and be humble. We retired teachers, mechanics, carpenters, musicians, singers, cooks, you name it. In the course of our lifetime, by the help of God, we have done some great feats, and we're here to claim it. We've been through fire, had some tough times, had many ups and downs. But through it all, we come to know that by the grace of God, our feet are still on the ground. So don't shake your head or count us out, because there's still some fire in the furnace. The embers may be a little low, but God can still ignite, rekindle the flames so they will once more glow. Oh yeah, they call us old folks and say we don't know nothing. But if you take the time to ask us, we can blow your mind and enlighten you on some astonishing things.
Oh, okay, can we come down and take a picture, please?
Oh, we get your name.
I know that feeling. Yeah, that was good. Can you just imagine I get the Lifetime Achievement Award for the president? That is awesome. That's amazing. Wait, what?
The American story depends not on any one of us, not on some of us, but on all of us. I congratulate you on taking it upon yourself to contribute to the public good. And I am proud to present you with the President's Lifetime Achievement Award in recognition of your 5,000 hours of service to this great nation. Throughout our country's history, the American story has been strengthened by those who combine an optimism about what can be with a resilience that turned that vision into reality. I know I am not alone in recognizing that those who are willing to step up and volunteer in service of community and country are essential to the ongoing work of forming a more perfect being. By sharing your time and passion, you are helping discover and deliver solutions to to the challenges we face, solutions we need now more than ever. We are living in a moment that calls for hope and light and love. Hope for our futures, light to see our way forward, and love for one another. Through your service, you have provided all things. On behalf of the American people, I extend my heartfelt appreciation to you for your volunteer leadership, and I encourage you to continue to answer the call to serve. The country is coming.
Come together, come close. All right here on three, ready? 1, 2, 3. 3, 1, 2, 3. Good.
All right, new business. Council approval of 6 new, no, we don't have to approve that. Okay, council approval to purchase additional fire suppression gear. Is there a motion to approve this item?
So moved.
That was Councilwoman Wells, the second by Councilwoman James. Is there any further discussion? Ms. Rainey, roll call, please.
Councilmember James.
Yes.
Councilmember Anton.
Yes.
Councilmember Gutierrez.
Vote, sir.
Councilmember Akins Wells.
Yes.
Councilmember Mears.
Yes.
Thank you. Council discussion and approval of Stryker Annual Service Agreement, a 2-year renewal in the amount of $23,580.58. Is there a motion to approve this item?
So moved.
That was Councilwoman James. There's
Second.
second by Councilwoman Wells. Any further discussion? Ms. Rainey?
Councilmember James.
Yes.
Councilmember Anton.
Yes.
Councilmember Gutierrez. Councilmember Akins Wells.
Yes.
Councilmember Mears.
Yes.
Council discussion and approval for an ignitable liquid detection canine. Is there a motion to approve this item?
So moved.
Councilwoman James, is there a second?
Second.
Councilwoman Wells, is there any further discussion? Ms. Rainey?
Councilmember James.
Yes.
Councilmember Anton.
Yes.
Councilmember Gutierrez.
Yes.
Councilmember Akins Wells. Councilmember Mears.
Yes.
Council approval to enter into a contract with Nova for building inspection services. Is there a motion to approve this item?
So moved.
Councilwoman James, is there a second?
Second.
That was Councilwoman Wells. Any further discussion? Ms. Rainey?
Councilmember James.
Yes.
Councilmember Anton.
Yes.
Councilmember Gutierrez.
Yes.
Councilmember Akins Wells.
Yes.
Councilmember Mears.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, council approval of the purchase of a Life Pack 15V4 motor defibrillator for a rescue truck. Is there a motion to approve this item?
So moved.
That was Councilwoman James. Is there a second?
Second.
That was Councilman Mears. Is there any further discussion? Ms. Rainey, roll call, please.
Councilmember James.
Yes.
Councilmember Anton.
Yes.
Councilmember Gutierrez.
Yes.
Councilmember Akins Wells.
Yes.
Councilmember Mears.
Yes, ma'am.
Council approval on an agreement between the City of Forest Park and Clayton County Public Schools for a summer food service program. Is there a motion to approve this item?
So moved.
That was Councilwoman James. Is there a second?
Second.
That was Councilman Mears. Is there any further discussion? Ms. Rainey?
Councilmember James.
Yes.
Councilmember Anton.
Yes.
Councilmember Gutierrez. Councilmember Akins Wells.
Yes.
Councilmember Mears.
Yes.
All right, closing comments by the governing body. Councilwoman James.
Thank you all so much for coming out. We appreciate all our new employees, our new staff members. Welcome aboard. We're looking forward to great things in Forest Park.
Councilman Antoine?
Likewise, welcome to the All-Star team. Thank you guys for coming. I want to give a shout out to the K9 expert right there. On a serious note, I want to give a shout out to Ms. Wise. Thank you for joining God where he's working, and also what you do for the country of Haiti. For the rest of you all, God bless everybody. Those in War 2, we're looking good, and I love you guys. Thank you, guys.
Councilman Gutierrez.
Thank you, everybody, for coming out. Welcome to the new employees. The fire person, I don't want to call you the wrong title, but thank you for, the expert out there. I just want to thank you. I always hear about you and all your great work from the chief and all the money you bring to us, your smile and your good attitude. So just thank you. And now with this new innovative idea, so we appreciate you. You could probably work anywhere, but you choose to be here. So thank you for that. I just want to say I'm just really proud of my colleagues, of our staff. We just had a budget retreat, and every director, presented what they needed. And I don't know, just thinking of other times, I think we didn't agree sometimes on certain things, but now I think we've come a long way. And I think it's really helping our city move forward, and it shows with all these things. Ms. Wise, that was beautiful. You are a blessing to this world. I'm so thankful that we are highlighting our people in this manner in Forest Park, because I think that's the best asset we have is our people and the diversity and the beautiful individuals that live here that make our city. So with that being said, if y'all need anything, let me know. It's getting warm outside. So make sure you wear sunscreen. I just recently learned the benefits of wearing sunscreen, and they retain your skin. So if you want to look like Mr. Shelby over there with that nice skin, some people call them old folks, but I don't. But wear sunscreen. Thank you.
Councilwoman Wells.
Yes, just like to thank everyone for coming out, and Ms. Wise, I wish she was still here. Like, she's a phenomenal little lady, and I hope to live as long as her and do as much as her. But thank you all so much, all of our directors. I know I'm always speaking of the fire department, but I just like to say to all of our directors, all of our employees, thank you so much for everything that you do. You actually make us look good. And to our amazing city manager, thank you so much for everything that you do. I hope you all have a good night.
Councilman Mears.
Yes, ma'am. I'd like to make a little backlash on the retreat. It was we trying to get the budget line and everything, and we had a little brain teasing session around, which when it got to me, nobody was home, but I learned a lot out of it. When you need something or see something or want something, say something. I think me and Mr. Clark discussed that pretty good. And I just want to make sure that our fire department and our police department and our public service works department, I mean, a lot of times you have priorities. We're not out there with you day to day, and we don't know exactly what you do need. We try to figure out up here through our city manager what you can get or what we can afford to give you, but it may not be exactly what you need at the time. So I would encourage the leaders of those departments that are there on the front lines every day. If you have something that you need you need to bring it to us and give us an idea. We may be way out of the park with it when it's right under your feet. So I just want to encourage the leaders of the departments to always be open-minded and feel like you can come to this committee and present what you really need without feeling you're going to get smacked. You know what I'm saying? So everybody just be theirself, come forward. And if you have any questions or anything and would like to talk, raise your hand. We can't eat you. All we can do is help you. Thank you.
Thank you so much. And while I echo the sentiments of my colleagues, I just want to say for our legacy residents, it is not lost upon us that we are truly here because of the work that you put in, and we really stand on your shoulders. And so from the bottom of my heart, thank you for what you have done so we can get to this point in leadership. And so once again, thank you. And so we do have to go back into executive session. So I'm going to ask for a motion. Oh my gosh. Thank you, Councilman Antoine. Is there a second? Councilman Mears, I'm not gonna
So-
ask
so
you
for
in favor.
clarity's
We're just
sake-
gonna go. How about
Mayor,
that?
Mayor, we need to say the
Oh, for
purpose.
personnel, litigation, real estate, or legal matters.
So moved.
Thank you, Councilwoman James. There a second? Councilman Mears, second? Thank you.
Shout out Finch.
session and reconvene into our regular meeting. That's Councilman James, is there a second? Councilwoman Wells, all in favor? Thank you. Is there a motion to adjourn? Councilwoman Wells, is there a second? Councilwoman James, all in favor?